With the nearly 700 km long Vietnam-Laos border, taking advantage of that terrain, drug criminals have always been to buy, sell, and transport drugs across the border to smuggle into our country, during day and night trips back and forth across the country. The Northwest Passage, back to Hanoi through Bac Ninh, Bac Giang to Tai Nguyen, contains many mysteries of White Death traders. One of the subjects was identified as Nguyen Thi Hai, born in 1962, residing in Kim Hamlet, Chung Ton Commune, Pho Yen Town, Tai Nguyen Province. Hai had 3 previous convictions and had many tricks to deal with authorities. Policy drivers pay the most attention, that is, in recent times, Hai has had some economic confusions about time. Drug addicts often come to Hai's house and then leave very quickly, especially many sources from the public say that Hai is often present in Son La under the guise of being a trader of agricultural products. Tai Nguyen. Hai is an addict, has no job, but normally his daily life is very well off. Compared to the level of the people around him, it is very outstanding. For example, Hai buys a house and buys this car, then buys land, invests in some form such as playing this land, then real estate. Determined that this was a large-scale drug trafficking and trafficking ring, the leader of the police department to investigate drug crimes of Tai Nguyen province on the one hand sent scouts to strengthen the grasp and follow up. Border areas, especially the collapsed Long Border Gate, also known as Pahang Border Gate in Son La province to detect drug sellers to Hai. On the other hand, report to the Public Management Board Tai Nguyen Provincial Security Department asked for advice and guidance, applying professional measures. Special Project Year 21H was established with the participation of the Drug Crime Investigation Police Department of the Ministry of Public Security along with the most experienced detective investigators of the Public Drug Crime Investigation Police Department. Tai Nguyen Province. Another scout was ordered to coordinate with the police of Son La province to review all the archives and archives of suspicious subjects with criminal records on drugs in the area. All information from scouts reported, carefully screened as a basis for the judgment of the project. It must be said that the drug situation in Tai Nguyen province in recent times has taken place. Very complex and the tricks of the subjects are very sophisticated. The key is Nguyen Thi Hai. But if you do the basic job well, you will be able to track down the line and the leader, have been monitoring the working group for more than a week. It is certain that the agricultural product trading activity is just a disguised form to evade the danger. Monitoring by the police, in Pho Yen Town, Hai often has time to be alone, not according to the rules, sometimes meeting with drug addicts with a history of drugs, at home, or at home. Is out on the street and the encounters are very brief, it's possible they're dealing drugs. If we catch it right away, we can only catch Hai, and the person selling drugs to Hai will escape. Since then, the project committee has identified a line of illegal drug trafficking on the routes of agricultural products from Son La to Tai Nguyen, including 3 subjects Van On Nguyen Thi Hai and Din Van Thang. From the information on the board, the project decided that it was necessary to keep a close eye on Hai's activities as well as grasp the return rules of shipments from Son La bus station to Tai Nguyen. After many days of monitoring and investigation, in mid-December 2001, scouts in Son La province informed the project committee that they had come out of the cave. Luong Van On sent a shipment of agricultural products from the bus station. Son La returned to Tai Nguyen, but this time it was assigned to a completely unknown object to escort them. What calculations are they doing? Whether this shipment contains drugs or not, the working group has organized a secret collection of many road stations to follow up and monitor every movement of the shipment. The special committee has determined that the goods will be shipped. Returned to Tai Nguyen the next day. The head of the project committee asked the members to supplement the detailed plan, come up with the perfect fishing plans. But on the way to the beginning of Tai Nguyen City, the subject escorted the vehicle to a sudden stop down the middle of the road. The task group tracked the object on the vehicle, determining the possibility that this was a test of the subjects. Secretly checking and scouting immediately reported to the project committee, "This is just a normal shipment of agricultural products," in order to detect reviewing the surveillance of the police force. The Special Case Committee ordered the working noses to withdraw to avoid revealing information. The subjects in the 521H project all have criminal records for drug crimes. When carrying out shipments, they often go back and forth many times to explore the activities of the workforce, so it is extremely difficult to detect exhibits and arrest Van On and Nguyen Thi Hai and Dinh Van Thing. Entering the new year in 2022, the investigation agency's forecast is that addicts will buy a lot of drugs to use gradually, so it is possible that the power in the line will increase the supply. The project committee determines that the goods will probably arrive the next day. The options to start at the beginning, how to catch it and when to block it, it will be blocked before and after, how to arrange it, all must make careful calculations. On the night of December 24, 2021, scouts at the bus station in Son La had obtained information that Hai had boarded the vehicle, could determine the delivery of the goods to subject Hai. The task force had correctly identified the subject. Thing, who was delivered to Nguyen Thi Hai, went on a bus, a passenger car from Son La and Tai Nguyen. The Group 1 followed the object. Thing often stayed in the car, did not get off the vehicle. If it is determined that this is a sack containing drugs, then inform the reconnaissance team in the Da Phuc Pig Bridge area, bordering Tai Nguyen, Hanoi to continue monitoring and supporting the reconnaissance force behind to establish IE implemented. At exactly 6 a.m. on December 25, 2011, the special committee decided to take action. Dozens of officers and soldiers blocked many routes through which the subjects could pass. Secret reconnaissance teams dressed up and pretended to be in many forms such as motorbike taxi cabs and trucks to detect subjects in the special project. Nguyen Thi Hai rode a white motorbike and went to Highway 3 to wait for a bus on the Sun route. La went to Tai Nguyen to receive drugs. And immediately scouts rushed in and successfully arrested Nguyen Thi Hai and Dinh Van Thing. When searching the spot, they seized a mobile phone, a motorbike, and a sack with 20 heroin cakes inside. When arresting Hai, he declared that the amount of drug 20 cakes like that, then Hai will make a profit of 40 million VND per cake with the amount of 20 cakes, as if he will earn 800 million VND in the process. During the struggle, the subject Hai himself was the subject of 3 previous convictions including drugs, and the subject had a very complicated relationship with the area, so when Hai was arrested, he was because with such a large amount of drugs, the subject will receive the highest sentence. The subject also avoids and does not cooperate. When encouraged by the special committee and continued to fight, Nguyen Thi Hai confessed to buying drugs. Above of Luong Van On with the amount of 3.2 billion VND, and Hai paid him 300 million VND in advance. After that, he hired Dinh Doan to escort drugs and receive money from selling drugs to bring him back. Dinh Van Thing himself in the case was only the subject, although he did not have a criminal record, and played the role of helping in this line of illegal drug trafficking. The subject is afraid of being sentenced to a high sentence, and the subject himself also tries to make false statements, deny crimes, and conceal them. But before the seized evidences and other related property objects, and also explained to the leniency of the law, the subject also admitted his crime in the hell. Accomplices to buy and sell 20 heroin cakes. The drug activity line of the subject of Van On and Nguyen Hung Hai operated for a long time and secretly exchanged with each other. After the police force caught Nguyen Thi Hai and Thing in the act, subject On could not be contacted, and determined that subject Hai and the winner had been arrested. The subject had abandoned his residence and escaped. Foreign. With the act of illegally trading in drugs, Nguyen Thi Hai and Dinh Bang will have to receive the strictest sentence of the law, especially Luong Van On. Although he has not been arrested, it is necessary to pay the price before the law. Sooner or later it will happen.